Welcome back to the channel. It's time to start the performance upgrades on my LS swapped 67 C10, starting with a cam job on the old LS1. I had Lauren give me a hand taking the hood off of this truck so I could hop in the engine bay and start prepping to pull the motor. Now, if you guys and gals look back on my archive videos, this project was one of the first trucks that I featured on my channel. I finished it in the summer of 2022, took it on the Hot Rod Power Tour, and I've had a ton of fun with this truck over the last year and a half. But recently, this LS1 has collapsed a lifter, and now it's time to pull the motor to do a turbo cam upgrade and get it ready for some serious performance upgrades. Now, as y'all may know, these performance upgrades are extremely expensive, so I've opted to break this build up in multiple parts. In this video today, we're only doing the performance upgrades on the motor itself. We're not doing the turbo or any of the other parts just yet because I gotta save up some money to make this happen. But now that the LS1 is out of the truck, it's time to start disassembly so we can start this cam job. So I got with Joe Egizio over at Egizio Motors, and he got me hooked up with some Brian Tooley racing parts. Not only are we doing a stage 2 cam, but we're also doing LS7 lifters, chromoly push rods, platinum valve springs, a Trunnion upgrade, a new high flow oil pump, front and rear main seal, a new timing gear, and basically resealing the top end of this motor to get it ready for that turbo. Sounds like a chicken, or sounds like a rooster. So I got the Holley mid-mount front runner set on here, and with the ATI super damper. So this is the mount for the damper, and I can't get it off the crank snout. I turned my puller into a banana. I started doing the same with this puller. I thought it'd be a little stronger. So I had to make a run to Hobo Freight and get a 5-ton hydraulic puller set. Let's see if we can get this thing off of here. Also, my normal harmonic balance puller. Also, my normal harmonic balance puller doesn't fit on this mount for the ATI super damper. Just in case anybody was wondering why I'm not using that. This is quite the contraption here. There we go. All right. Ow! Son of a... Oh. I just dropped that on my toe. Dang, dude. It's a little loose, but still looks pretty good. Yeah, this cam still looks really good. I think I'm gonna save on this. Almost ready to start putting this thing back together, but you see this mating surface for the heads are really dirty, so it's time to get those cleaned up. I'm just gonna take a scraper and remove the bulk of this old head gasket material. I got a fresh blade and a razor knife here. And I like to tilt the motor on its side so we're not dumping a whole bunch of junk down in the block. I just got a gray Scotch-Brite. I'm gonna take off the rest of this head gasket material. I'll just keep repeating that process all over this head surface and eventually it'll look pretty dang good. By the way, the cross hatching on the cylinder walls looks phenomenal. I was looking at that earlier. I forgot to tell you guys that these cylinders still look really, really good. Dadgum, this looks almost like a brand new motor in here. So I got this all cleaned and prepped up, and the last thing to do before I start reassembling is I got to clean out some areas. So I grabbed my cleaning kit for my semi-automatic hole maker, and I'm just going to take these tips, get them down in where the valves go, make sure that's all nice and clean, and then make sure we clean down the bearings of the cam. These are like the perfect size. Yeah.
Dad, I think you should clean these.
I hope.
I
already did.
Clean these.
I already did.
Oh, I didn't know. What if it looks like oil? Random oil? And stuff?
Okie dokie. It's called a crankshaft.
Oh.
So what happens? Yeah, watch them. Watch what happens. So these pistons, when the motor's running, they move like this.
I know what those do.
But they move very fast.
Yeah, they're like.
That looks pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, but look, this can also spin. Whenever you spin this, it's.
Oh yeah, this is all a part of the crankshaft.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Dad, I know how fast the pistons go. They're like they're like one, every time they come up, it's like one, it's like 0.5 seconds. Like, it's really fast,
Yeah,
really fast.
like you can't even see it, how fast it's going. Finally get to start putting in the Brian Tooley racing parts. So this is our camshaft, and I have to prep this to go in the motor. Oh, yeah. Look down the camshaft and just make sure there's no junk in there, which when you're dealing with Brian Tooley Racing, you're not really gonna get garbage. So I don't really see anything, but still, I'll go ahead and grab the cleaning kit for my semi-automatic hole maker and just clean it out real quick, because you know what? Why not? Good job. Just like that, see? See that towel? See that? Let's put this camshaft in. Yeah! Yeah, you can help me, absolutely.
I gotta go put these in my room.
This is assembly lube.
Oh. So you have to put that all over?
I need you to help me spread it out.
Spread it out?
Yep, so we're only gonna put it on half of it right now.
Like this?
All right, so first we're gonna, we'll put it in. It is sticky. And we'll be very gentle. Okay, can you help me?
Yeah. I don't want to get it on your arms. Hello? Hello?
Yep, there it goes. Okay, so now we got it halfway in. It feels nice and tight. Then we'll do the rest of this. Okay, so we gotta be really, really careful.
You don't want to get any scratches.
Yep, exactly. We want it to stay nice and smooth.
Down.
Yep.
In the middle.
And we got one more.
In the middle. Just keep it in the middle, and then that'll be good.
It's a little stuck. But see, we got these bolts at the end here that help me get it slid right into place. Come on, baby.
After this, your hands are just perfectly clean.
There she goes.
Wow.
Feel how smooth that is? Got a new cam retainer plate from BTR. So this plate holds the cam in place.
Am I done?
Nope, you gotta do all of them. Here, you wanna use my new tool? You be the first. I haven't even used this yet, dude. You wanna be the first one to use it?
How do you use it?
You squeeze this. But yeah, but don't let it go too tight. Yep, that's good, just like that.
Maybe a little tight.
There you go. Perfect. Yep, that's perfect. Yep. Is that easier? Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? That's why I got it. This is awesome. So this is called a torque wrench. Check this out.
Can you try it?
Yeah, listen. When you get to the right torque, it clicks. You hear that?
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember if I told you guys and gals at the beginning of the video what I was doing with the timing, but we're just doing the chain. We're not doing the full sprocket set. So we got our crankshaft and #1 piston at top dead center right here. Walker, you want to come around here, bud?
I just want to say hi.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, so you see this dowel hole?
Yeah.
We got to make sure it goes on that.
Okay.
And we got to make sure these 2 dots.
Connect to that?
Yeah, connect the dots. Oh, dude, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right, can you hold that right there? All right, oh, so you heard that click? That's when you stop.
Yeah, it's really hard to do this one.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Having some technical difficulties with the old camera here. Just put on our oil pump. These bolts are torqued down to 9 foot-pounds. So I got a front main and rear main seal installation kit from Amazon. And with that came this piece right here. So this mimics the oil pan. So you'll be able to put this on the bottom where the oil pan is gonna go. And when you put that front timing cover on, it's gonna align it perfectly. All right, we had to take a quick break because we have something really important to see. So this is the old timing chain. We want to see if it fits over Walker's head.
Thanks?
You think you'll get your PJs dirty?
Yes.
You might.
I don't want to because these are my favorite.
Oh, are they? Here, look.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
It fits.
Oh, dude, that's going to be awesome. All right, I got to clean it a little bit more, but yeah.
Is it on my face?
No.
Oh, that's good.
It's just a little bit dirty. I'll get it extra clean for you so you can wear it to school or something. Perfect.
So if you aim it at somebody's face, then it will just get in their eyes or face.
We don't want to do that because it burns. That's perfect. Yep. All right, so we got our mounting plate right here. We're gonna grab our gasket that came in our kit.
Here.
Yep, Walker's gonna put it in there for us. Perfect. Here, you wanna do this now that that's all covered up, all the sharp edges are covered up?
I won't use it.
You don't wanna do it?
Yeah, because it's your first time.
It has our timing cover located where it's supposed to be, but we're not gonna torque it down yet because we have to make sure that the harmonic balancer is centered in this opening so we don't have any leaks from our front main seal. All right, let me bring you guys in here and show you my front timing cover alignment tool I got on Amazon. Can you hold that? So what Walker is showing you here is our front timing cover alignment tool. I got this on Amazon. And what this is gonna do is center the timing cover over the crank snout, so when we put on our seal, it's gonna be perfectly centered and it's gonna perfectly seal this, this crank. So what we do is just set it in there. We torque her down. I think the torque spec is 18 foot-pounds. All right.
I try to do it a little bit fast instead of like doing it fast.
Do it again. Do the double. Now we are aligned. We flip our thingamabob backwards because it's done. Dunsky.
You keep taking them out.
I know. So now we can put our seal on. We'll get it started here. And then I'm gonna use my tool. Love you, buddy. With a nice dead blow here. Perfect. Bow tie joined us, which is nice. What's up, bud?
Okay, you come. Okay.
We're gonna do our oil pickup tube into the oil pump. You wanna be really careful about what O-ring you use. If you have the straight pickup tube, the straight end, you use the black O-ring. If you have a tapered or like an indentation in your pickup tube, you wanna use the green one.
I guess I could have done this before we put this on. It doesn't really matter.
All right, so we're gonna torque these down to yep.
And
You do really want to be careful though when you're putting this oil pickup tube in, because if you cut that O-ring or if you nick it, could have some problems with oil pressure.
Yep. Yep. I guess we'll find out if I did. Okay.
Click, click. There it is. Click, click. All right. Walker's getting ready to go to bed, and I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about making mistakes. I just made a mistake, and when I was literally explaining to you about this orifice tube, this oil pickup tube, I put it in there crooked and almost stripped out the oil pump and almost screwed up the install while I was telling you to watch out for it. So it's okay, you're gonna make mistakes if you're doing this for the first time. It's not a big deal. I've done this a couple of times and I'm still making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, bud, as long as you recognize it and fix it and then move forward. So we're moving forward, but he's going to bed. How's your finger? All right, Walker just finished up some stickers on his wall. Which one did you put on?
These.
Oh, the Nova from Speedway Motors. Oh, we could thank Mr. Chad for that. He took me there, and they gave me that. So yeah, he like layered those stickers.
I like this one the best.
Built his own Nova. He put those wheels on with a blower. Nice choice, man. And
There's
look
also
at the
a
little
different
gas pumps
blower.
too. Oh
Gas
yeah,
pump. That.
it's looking good, dude.
There's also some wheels on here and a thing that came.
Oh yeah, there's
And
the
also
wheels.
that, and also this.
There are the wheels.
This
Oh
car.
yeah, and like a dirt track car. That's cool.
Yeah.
Anywho, time to put our ATI super damper back on. And what I'm gonna do is grab the hub assembly first. I had to refer back to the video when I did the installation of this ATI super damper on the crank of this LS1. Process is pretty simple, but I just wanted to make sure I had my dimensions and measurements correct. Also, there is a keyway slot for this ATI super damper. I don't know if you guys and gals can see it, but right here, I gotta put a dab of this high temperature RTV sealant so we don't have any oil that comes through the crank snout. Chad, I'm using the old ball peen hammer you gave me, man. I appreciate it. It's a lot more handy than a claw hammer. Yep. Dude, that's so much easier with that freaking Milwaukee 1/2-inch impact. That thing is nuts. So this ATI super damper goes on the hub, and you got a little dot you got to line up here. Yeah, that's it right there. All right, Ian. Now, it's time for the big boy. Now we install our crank bolt to the GM factory specifications. So we're going to send this one, which is the one I took out. This is the used bolt. Torque that one down to 250 foot-pounds. Pull it out, put the new one in, torque it to 37 foot-pounds, and then get 140 degrees of rotation. Now I'm going to turn my attention to the heads. I'm going to clean up the bottom side of the head and get those ready for mounting back on the motor. Then once those are clean, we'll flip it over and we'll start putting on our new valve springs. I'm going to use the same process as I did on the block and just scrape off this extra material and then clean it up with a gray Scotch-Brite pad. And I'll hit the combustion chamber with a wire wheel, just like I did on the cylinders. Next up, we can install our BTR valve springs. Their valve spring kits come with everything that you need to do this job, except for this handy little tool. So this is a valve spring compression tool. I got it off Amazon for 13 bucks, and it makes this job super, super easy. Have to give the valves a couple of taps. Break them free. Now that the spring's compressed, we could pull the locks out. There we go. Just grab a magnet, it makes this pretty easy. Now we can release the tension on the valve spring. I'm going to fully remove the valves and clean them up a little bit. They're already pretty clean, but I mean, we're already here, so you might as well. But now we could take off our valve spring seals, or valve seals. They come off pretty easily. Now the BTR kit comes with your valve spring locator, which is just basically a washer. And it comes with new valve seals. So the way you're gonna put these on, just get them started. And I got a 12 millimeter 12-point socket, 1/2-inch drive. Just gonna lightly tap them on until they're seated. I just ran a wire wheel over the valve real quick. Now that our valve seals are on, give it a little assembly lube. Slide it right back into place. I'm gonna put a blue paper towel in the combustion chamber to hold the valve stems up. Now I can install springs. Install the retainers. Now we're gonna install the locks. So this valve spring compression tool that I got has a grooved channel. These valve spring retainers are too large for that channel, so I'm gonna have to flip it over, use the flat side, and line everything up. All right, now I can install the locks. Just like that. On to the next one. Now we got the heads prepped. Time to start putting this block back together. So we're gonna be putting in our lifters. Now, I went with the LS7 roller lifter. It essentially looks exactly like the ones that came out, but on all these lifters, they have an oil galley on one side. Now I've heard some people like to put it facing the front of the engine. Some people like to put it facing the back of the engine. Some people go both ways. I'm gonna put it facing the front of the engine. Let me know in the comments below how you like to install it in your motor if that's what you're doing. But this lifter tray has guides that essentially hold this in place. So we're gonna push our lifter in, just like that. We're gonna put all of our lifters, boom, install it and be done. So this is what our tray looks like. So the lifters also are not touching our camshaft just yet. When we go to put in our push rods, we'll be able to push the lifters down so they'll actually be in contact with the cam. Now we gotta torque this bolt down to 106 inch-pounds. Click, click. Next. Click, click. Heads are done. Wipe the whole surface down with some brake clean to make sure we got rid of all the grease and grime. Whoops. Let's go ahead and put on our head gasket. There we go. Got ARP bolts, and they want you to put on their fastener assembly lubricant on the bottom of the head and on the threads to get proper torque, to get accurate torque specs. Now we do a 3-step torque sequence from 25 to 50 to 80 foot-pounds for these bolts right here. Then you end it torquing the top bolts down to 25 foot-pounds. So there is a torque sequence too that we have to be mindful of. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here we go. Going to 25 foot-pounds. Now we go to 50. Next we go to 80 foot-pounds. And the last sequence is to torque these upper, smaller bolts to 25 foot-pounds. There's 5 of them. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, I'm going to be doing a trunnion upgrade. Now, this is a known weak point in GM lifters. I have a stock lifter right here. And the center pivot point, well, that's 2 needle bearings. And if that comes apart, it sends those needles throughout the entire motor. And it could be a real bad day. So also, if you listen real close, there's a lot of slop in these lifters. So I've already done some of these, and this is what the upgrade looks like. So there's still needle bearings on either side, but they're retained by a large washer and a snap ring. So those needle bearings will never be able to work themselves out. Also, tolerances are a lot tighter, and that's good for horsepower. So here's how you do it. You got to get yourself a press. I had to go to Harbor Freight and buy this unit. So once you get the press out, you grab yourself a 22 and a 13 millimeter 1/2 inch drive socket. Set the rocker arm inside. As such, set the 13 millimeter on top. Try to get it centered up. Once you get it lined up, you can press out the bearing. So now you have your rocker ready to go. You'll grab a new bearing, place it with the letters facing out, press it into place. You'll grab a new trunnion, slide it in place. Grab another bearing. And the kit has 2 thick washers used to install these bearings. You just line it up, press. Washer, snap ring, and you grab some snap ring pliers. There's that. Let's do the other side. Get your washer, got your snap ring. And that's it. Just double check your snap ring and you're good to go. Now we can install our new chrome moly push rods, rocker arm bracket, and our rocker arms. To adjust the valves, I'm following the Michigan Motorsports website here. Rotate the motor till the engine is at top dead center on the compression stroke. That means that the number 1 cylinder is going to be at the base of the cam lobe for the intake and exhaust, and it'll be completely closed. So we're at top dead center right now on the compression stroke. And I need to torque down the number 1 cylinder to 22 foot-pounds on both the intake and exhaust. Click, click. And then this should set the preload and we should be good. I also went back through and lubed up everything. I didn't put assembly lube on the end of the push rods and stuff, so I just loosened them up, put the assembly lube on real quick, and started doing this. Now I rotate the motor 360 degrees. Click, click. click, click. And 8. Everything looks pretty good, but I want to repeat that process again just to double check, make sure everything is torqued down to that 22 foot-pounds so we know that the preload on our lifters is correct. And then we're in the home freaking stretch of putting this motor back together. Last, we're going to knock out this engine cover and rear main seal. Torque them down. Torque them down. We're going to 18 foot-pounds. All right, putting our flywheel back on. Just got to line up this little hole with the hole in the crankshaft. And I got this handy tool off of Amazon. But it bolts in place of where the starter is. And it'll hold our flywheel so we can torque it back down. We're going to do 3 passes. First pass is going to be 15 foot-pounds, then we're going to do a 37 foot-pounds, and then we're going to do 74 foot-pounds for the final torque in an X pattern, in a star pattern. So here's our first pass. That's not right. Now that our flywheel is on and torqued down, we can go ahead and apply our 1/4-inch bead of black RTV sealant to where the front cover and rear cover meet the block, and throw in our oil pan. All of the bolts going into the block in the front cover are torqued to 18 foot-pounds, and these two back here, these two long ones, are torqued to 106 inch-pounds. There we go. Ready? Okay. Okay. Oh no, I just scratched my paint.
You did? On which side?
It's fine, but...
This side?
Yeah, I was just joking. Come on. Any minute. you're gonna, yeah. This is ridiculous. Okay. Oh, was that it? No, just false alarm. Okay. Oh. There it is, 70 foot-pounds.
All right, we could finally start putting this thing back together. Nine foot-pounds. Probably should have put those on before I put the motor in, but you know what? I just didn't do it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to live with that. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. Now we got to prime the oil pump. So if you look right here, there is a hole in the side of the block. In that hole goes this piece right here. It's just a plug. And that has direct access to the oil pump. So now you're going to get something that fits in that hole that you'll be able to pour oil into. So now I'll pour 5 to 6 ounces into my fancy funnel here and hope we don't make a huge mess here. Yeah, it was going in. Oh, now we're starting to make a mess. That means it's full. Science, technology, performance. Full synthetic 5W30 oil. I'm really after that performance aspect of it. Science and technology part I don't really care about. Hey, do you guys remember when you used to be able to buy a 5.5 quart jug of oil? That was pretty convenient back in the day. But I think people got too confused. That happens pretty easily nowadays. You know, these Holley 2-piece valve covers are super nice, but you got to take off this #1 coil to put some fresh oil in it. Slightly annoying, but hey, I think they add like 5 extra horsepower or so. Just got the battery hooked back up. All right, so now we're going to turn the fuel on. Well, turn the key on. It's going to turn the fuel pump on and see if we got a leak at the fuel rail. That looks good. Went back through the Holley Terminator X Max setup wizard because I'm going to have to basically retune this truck anyway. And just updated some values. Let's see if this thing fires up for the first time. Also, I have not completed installing the cooling system because I just want to make sure that everything works as it should and we won't have any issues so I can finish the rest of this install. I'm nervous. Let's go to our monitor over here. That sounds really good. Of course, I'm getting a phone call from a freaking spammer. Idle's a little high. I might have to go back and adjust that. But it sounds great. Phenomenal oil pressure. I'm like 60 right now idling. I like getting these heat shrink hose clamps. Never had them fail on me, but you can't reuse them. So I just grab a box full and keep them on hand. But all you do is slide it over, put your hose on, and then hit it with a heat gun. Nice and tight. And the final piece before we can take this out for a test drive. Let's pull this bad boy out the garage. All right, everything should be done. I double, triple checked it. Okay. Okay. Let me go back. So I'm going back in my... You know what? Why don't you come on in here? All right, I've been messing with my Holley readout here. Let's go home. Let's go tuning. Let's go basic fuel. Wait. Let's go back. Cancel. Back. Basic idle. So I dropped the idle to 700. So I'm wondering, maybe that wasn't enough. 800. All right. Sorry, I'm taking a terrible video of this. Engine idle speed. No. I fat fingered it. Is that gonna do it? Well, pushing on the gas a little. Let's go home, monitor, multi-gauge. So I got 63, 64 pounds of fuel pressure. What's going on with the air-fuel ratio? Let me adjust that a little. Uh-oh. That is funky, dude. So, double and triple checked everything except for the boot at the intake. All right, let's see if it starts. I don't know what's going on. Okay, that's what it was, bro. Oh my God. I just went in like full panic mode and was like, did I just put this cam in 180 degrees out? And I'm like, how is that even possible on these motors? All right, let me do some more finagling with this Holley system and get this thing out of the garage. I'm gonna burp out this cooling system. Man, she was thirsty. Anywho's, thought I was gonna have to take the motor back out and redo everything and look like a big old dummy, but I just had the boot loose on the intake, which is pleasantly, I'll take that any day. Let's just say that. I do need to go back in there and mess with my fuel table and timing a little bit. That's the great thing about having this Holley Terminator X Max harness, is that you can just go in there and make some changes real quick. You don't got to program anything. It's right there on the handheld. You're good to go. Starting to get warm. Oh, it's drinking it. Look at that. You got to turn the heater on too. I'm gonna call that good. This thing's handy. I like me that. Yeah, this thing is just a cheap little thingy from Harbor Freight. Yeah, you got a little plunger, you pull this out, it spits all the coolant back out. What's up, buddy? Oops. Got her idling great. Sounds good. Got a little chop, just a little bit. No leaks underneath, which is great news. But the Holley Terminator X Max system is gonna have to relearn how to run this motor. So I gotta put some miles on it, but I can't do that right now because I got them. Mama's not home, and I wanna give this a proper test drive. Let me show you what I've been working on. So here's what we got. We're able to get her in gear without it dying. All right. Another thing, we have an issue with it dying after I give it a little bit of gas. Yeah, it's getting better. Had to help it a little bit there. Went ahead and just gonna cruise around the block a little bit. I mean, I can't not drive it. I just freaking swapped the cam.
Wait, so everybody can see us?
Yeah, the internet's gonna see you guys. All right, just pull back in the driveway. It feels peppy. All our vitals are looking good. It's running great. Sounds good.
Wait, did you put that on?
All right, y'all come out this side. Finally got a couple minutes to myself. It's the next day. Everything's obviously cooled back down. So let's fire this thing up and see what happens.
All right. Giving it a little help there. Whoa, this thing is bouncy. Sorry, guys. And gals. That 1.2 is really soft. I mean, it's smooth, you know? This camera is very bouncy. Sorry about that. Might have to hold it like this. And it's starting to drizzle. No hood and drizzle, not a good combo. It should be all right though. Dude, that sucker woke up. Oh my goodness. Dude, okay. Like before, it wasn't really like wanting to break loose, taking off. There, I'm like, I was at maybe 60% throttle and it was breaking loose. Oh, here it comes. I'm still gonna have to work on that shift pattern because it doesn't want to shift correctly. Little hesitation there. Bouncing off the rev limiter. Again, we're gonna have to dial in that shift table. That's pretty fun. I had the gauges came up, it's like tack limiter in red. All right, one more. I love that sound, dude. Freaking love it. I could not be more excited that this cam swap is done. Now, like I said before, I'm not taking this to a tuner just yet. Once I throw the turbo on and I know that all the major motor work's done, then we'll take it to the tuner and get this thing 100% dialed. I'm talking like dialed. Let's take it to the Pro Touring Truck Shootout and run this thing on the autocross course dialed. Now, doing this job was pretty intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of work. You gotta pull the motor, you gotta take the motor apart, put it all back together. But with these LS motors, it's almost foolproof. It's almost impossible to screw this up. And I think the most intimidating thing for me about this job was adjusting the valves. I think a lot of people get intimidated by that, and that's probably the #1 reason people don't do a cam job on their own is adjusting the valves. But it's really, really super easy. I used 2 methods, the Michigan method that I shared with you guys. It's in the link below. And I went to double check it with what's called the ICE method. I wish I went over that. I might do that in another video. But basically you work cylinder by cylinder, and as soon as the intake, the intake valve opens, as soon as it closes, starts to close, C, then you adjust the exhaust valve, E. So as soon as the intake valve closes, the exhaust valve's at the bottom of the cam lobe, and you tighten it down to 22 foot-pounds if you have the stock retaining bolts. Same thing on the exhaust side. Once the exhaust valve's open and begins to close, you tighten down the intake valve to 22 foot-pounds, and that sets your preload on your lifters, and you're good to go. These hydraulic lifters are incredibly easy to adjust, so don't let that slow you down. Also, one more thing. I was told by a couple of dudes, they were quoted over $3,000 in labor just to do a cam job on their LS. Now, I can see why. Again, it's an incredible amount of work, but at the end of the day, You could save yourself quite a few bucks if you got some time, got some space, and got some basic hand tools. I think anybody with basic mechanical knowledge can do this. Anybody that understands how a motor runs can take this thing apart, put it back together. These LS motors are super, super easy to work on, and there is an insane amount of information out there on the YouTubes that you can look up if you get stuck, or you could just reach out to me and I'll tell you something to do that's probably not right. Anywho's, I appreciate you guys and gals watching this one. This was a super fun video. I'm so excited it is done, but I'll see y'all in the next video. All right. Still no leaks. I'll hang my hat on that, dude. That never happens. Yeah, buddy!